Hi everyone, I'm Echoes and I'm a VTuber, and I'll be going over episode 1 of Gundam GQuuuuuuX, titled The Red Gundam, which is streaming currently from Amazon Prime. Sorry, Prime Video specifically. But yeah, looking forward to going over it, and hopefully things go smoothly. Alright, let's get started. So in the beginning, we kind of get, you get the title screen, very cool. And then we get, I think, two Zaku who are fighting, from what I can tell, this brown one and this green one. Probably to show the different style of mobile suits, perhaps. But yeah, but it's a pretty cool fight. And then we get the image of the ship, which I think is called the Pegasus, I believe. And then we get a good view of Side 6, which is where this anime is taking place. From someone in my server knows Obali, they mentioned how Side 6 is actually quite an important location in Gundam UC, especially as a sort of a neutral location where both the Zeon Federation can converge. And also it's known for being a place where a lot of refugees live. So, And I believe it's also where Amuro met Lala and Char for the first time in person, among other things, and also where War in 0080, War in the Pocket took place as well. So, yeah. So quite an important location here. And the good thing is that you can see that the text, you can still see the text quite easily in this format. So, yeah. So now we're getting some I guess, Zeon soldiers are talking on the ship, where it appears that junk dealer mobile suits have entered our flight path because they're trying to get through. That's our objective to selling mobile suits to civilians. So some of the soldiers are talking. I don't care, let's get closer. And then you get this lady talking, at least the installer keys have been removed so they can't use weapons. Of course they can't. File complete with Side 6. And then we get Shaliable, who's introduced earlier. If you watch the beginning movie with Char. But regardless, something cool is also we don't get the 1 year war at the very beginning, kind of like what the movie had. Instead, we probably will get it interspersed throughout the episodes, which is shown more at the very end. But regardless, it's nice seeing Shaliable look a little older here, because before he was a bit younger. I understand, but Side 6 is a sovereign nation. Zeon has no obligation to look after them. And then we get these mobile suits are kind of scrubbing away this graffiti here, which has some plot importance, will be shown later. Something the matter, Commander Shaliable? And then he senses, I believe, the Red Gundam. Let's see. How can you tell? That your Jupiter returning intuition? It's the Red Gundam. And then this guy said, I lost track of the target. Looks like they're fighting against the Red Gundam here. Damn it, they got my Mav. Mav will probably explain more in the next episode, probably. But just as a quick context, Mav is essentially like a sort of a partnership where two mobile suits work together to mitigate the advantage of when one mobile suit sees the other, because essentially the person who sees the other first gets the advantage. So having a pair essentially helps mitigate that, because if one goes down, the other can't go in, essentially. But kind of interesting how they have this new system here. What the hell? And then we get the introduction of our main character Machu here. Her name is Amante, but Machu is her nickname. Was this a prank? And she's very cute. She's a cute redhead girl. Character designer is the same as the one who did the recent Pokemon games. So you could get a very distinctive style. And then you can see that the sign is nice, easy to read, very Japanese sign. Nice that it's both in English and Japanese. Service at CL Loop Line is currently suspended due to police investigation. Resumption of service to be determined. Thank you for your understanding. And there she's at the Camden station. And then there's someone running here using Deli Eats, which is a knockoff of Uber Eats. And then Machu hears the commotion, and then she sees this girl jump into her, runs into her while running away. But sadly, she gets kind of distressed because in the process, her phone breaks, which we can't get a good footage of here. Yep, right here. Because the one that B would chase after that girl breaks her phone. And then we get this cool scene here where she mentions how this part's shown in the teaser trailer as well. A space colony 6.4 kilometers in diameter generates 1 g of rotational gravity. You can see that she's kind of on this elevated platform here, doing a handstand. Kind of shows she has quite good arm strength, I gotta say. By rotating once every 113.5 seconds. Heavens aren't above our heads, but under our feet. Because they're a colony, of course. Those of us born in the colony don't know of real gravity or the real sky. And then she goes into the pool, let alone the real sea. But yeah, it's kind of cool because her motivations kind of is a lot like, kind of reminds me of the main character of Eureka 7, where kind of like they live normal lives, but they kind of want something real, I guess, or exciting. In her case, it's more like I want something real because I lived on the space colony all my life. But regardless, kind of nice to have a sort of a more zany, proactive protagonist. She's not a coward by any means. She's actually quite assertive. And you can see that she's in the bathroom here. It's like, at Camden Station, we're working to ensure the safety of our customers by enlisting the military police to counter illegal activities. And here she is taking out the item that the girl was from before was trying to, I guess, transport. And it's this tape sort of thing. It resembles a lot the sort of key that Amuro gets from his father to sort of be essentially insert into the Gundam to make it like stronger or whatever. But I don't know if it's just a general key or anything, but it does kind of look like that key in particular. Get the serial code. She looks it up and says it's for a mobile suits battle computer, which is pretty cool. And that it's an illegal smuggled item. Oh yeah, also something cool is that when she looks it up, she uses, what's it called? Something called Foolipedia. It's a nice knockoff of Wikipedia and also reference to Fooly Cooly. And then we get this really cool panning shot of the a large scale visual of the side 6, which is pretty cool. Really love it because it reminds me a lot of a similar view in Unicorn where you see Banaji and Minerva looking at the expansion of the colony that they're in. But regardless, I always like these impressive visuals because it really shows gives you a sense of scale of how big the colony is. And then here we're continuing a different chase. The target is heading for the south junkyard. All right, please take over the pursuit. Who knows? After them. They're doing the chase. Side 6 MPs have been unable to capture it. That's shocking. Is he really the Red Comet? There have been lots of fools pretending to be Captain Char. Makes sense. I mean, he'd be a pretty cool guy to imitate, right? This one's surely fake, right? But then Shalia is like, Ensign Kamoli, I'm sure you two have heard about the captain's origins. I know, he was your friend. Let's see. Or rather, he was your Mav, but that's more of an urban legend. I feel like we missed something. 1 second. Oh, yeah, that one. There are rumors that he was Zeon Daikun's surviving son. That is true. As if you know, previous Gundam material. Mav, but that's more of an urban legend. It's true that they the two work together as a Mav unit. But that's more seen in the movie, which we may see later on. Her Excellency, Cassilia has a different idea though. It's also interesting that this lady's still alive, because in if you watch the original Gundam, at least I watched the movies, this Cassilia lady dies. Gets blown up by Char himself, but it's interesting he's alive this time. So definitely a interesting turn of events. We came here to look into it. Ensign Xavier is in the midst of training for switching machines. We'll put the Omega Saikamu activation key to use. Didn't we borrow the new mobile suit on the condition that Saikamu not be used? The Omega Saikamu has never been used in actual combat, so that it's like a test program. If it were to go out of control and cause the Zeknova, we'll all face Vice Admiral McKeeve's military tribunal, which essentially is instant death. It's like, oof, yikes. I like this lady's face. It's kind of a funny face right there. The one thing that can stop the Red Gundam is the one with the same power. Makes sense. You know, Gundam versus Gundam. And then we get Ensign Xavier here. Omega is a special Saikamu. Do you think I can handle it? They say you were the top of your class at the Flanagan School. Otherwise, I wouldn't let you use a precious Saikamu activation key. By the way, this is a secret mission. You know what to do. Wait a minute now. This will be my first battle, you know? And then you can see he's trying to launch with the GQuuuuuuX. You'll be fine. You're a new type, aren't you? It's also cool that new types are seem to be used a little more prominently here by the Zeon, it seems. So interesting. And you can see he's getting in. But yeah, he has a pretty interesting suit. It's like very much resembles the GQuuuuuX. And he launches and he enters. Very cool. Does the commander believe we're still at war? Scattering Minovsky particles like this, anybody would notice. And then we meet Nyan again right here. Because she's trying to find her the object she was trying to deliver. And she meets Machu again. Where she steals her bag and stuff. Then enters this abandoned shrine on top of a building, it seems. Then realized that it was just a fake out. It was replaced with something else. And Machu has the item. It's like, this enables even a civilian mobile suit to use weapons. Pretty rad. I like her face. She's like so stern. It's like, don't you think you owe me an apology? Makes Nyan's hiding, and then Machu throws the key to try to lure her out. And then she catches it and is like, oh, are you a terrorist? And she stands on this shrine, part of shrine, which is pretty cool. Really shows that she's getting literally higher ground. No, I'm not a terrorist. This is just for a clan which is abbreviation for clan battles. You mean you fight in mobile suits for prize money clan battle, right? Yep, there you go. I know that's really popular even if it's illegal. And then she falls, and then they collide here. And then Nyan explains like, oh, I'm just delivering the key. It's just a job. Then you better pay me back for this, which is her phone. And then we get a continuation of the battle between Xavier controlling the GQuuuuuuX and chasing after the Red Gundam here, which is pretty cool. Not even trying to hide. And you can see that a cool thing about the Red Gundam is that it has the funnels used by Lala in the original Mobile Suit Gundam. So it's kind of a bit of a change in continuities. Well, this is technically a UC alternate universe, so it makes sense. They're ignoring the ceasefire signal. No choice then. Mega Saikamu activate, and the issue is that he can't activate that Saikamu for whatever reason. And then you can see that fighting, blah, blah, blah. This is a real Gundam because it has, what's it called? Because it has the Vulcans and all that jazz. You can't lock the Saikamu. Why can't it activate? They're still fighting, but regardless, the fights are still really cool. This is honestly one of the best. It looks even better looking than Witcher Market, which is saying a lot. Courier, that sounds cool. And you can see that it looks like they're moving on this route right here. And then you can see that more of that graffiti that we saw earlier outside the colony. But those police from earlier. You can see that they're going in this more of, they're quick at picking out refugees. So yeah, it looks like anti-refugee stuff is happening in this colony, even though this colony has many immigrants. And then you can see that they're kind of walking through this sort of sketchy part of the colony here. Because like they're in this like dark alleyway. And then I think she has no decent person would do clan bat. And then she enters she says a password and it's like, hello, are you in a hurry? Is the password. And then they enter. And then they meet the people here. Good actions lead to good results. Sure. They meet the people who are doing clan battle. Here she is, Anki. The Anchi. The police were chasing her at the station. She's only a kid. But wasn't there a request delivered by today? And who the hell are you? And then you can see the dog is quite happy, and then she delivers the key. Ready for battle, and now they got this. So I'm assuming this guy's waiting for the key to be able to battle himself. Guessing you two aren't friends. Your uniform's not real, is it? I'm not sure who she's referring to here. We know Machu has the real uniform. And then this lady asked her, are you interested in clan battle? Shouldn't we talk to a child like that? You can see that I guess they're prepping whatever they have to do. And then Machu is kind of looking outside, and she's saying, can you be free in space? Because you could see that Machu wants to feel something real, right? But she also wants to feel free. So that's definitely an interesting motivation for her here. And then Haru says that she can be free in space. Yep, right here. Very cute Haru with the beanie. And then she sees the Zaku that they're using. And then mobile suits land near them because that guy from before controlling the GQuuuuuuX, Ensign Xavier, was chasing the red gun when they crashed into the colony. So it's still tumbling here, which is pretty cool. Very cool imagery here. I'd be able to react better if I had Psy control, which he doesn't have because it's not activated. Like, what are these idiots doing? The hell, man, do you got a death wish? You see that they're still fighting in the colony. And then he lands, and you see the control system must have pushed it too far. Makes sense. And then he hides his tracks using this gas. Or colored gas. And you see that these Momosu pirates are trying to look for the red Gundam. Commander Raga, the red one's nowhere to be found. Should be a lift nearby that goes down to nearby to the underground maintenance tunnel. So they're going to go downwards. But you can't tell if it's in a building. And see that they're causing quite a bit of wreckage here. They're illegal buildings made by refugees anyway. So yeah. So you could tell they don't have much regard for the inhabitants here, which is kind of messed up. Even though Zeon won the war, space noids will never be free. So that's the sad thing here. We will forever continue to suffer. And then it's like, oh, hide the Zaku. You're not going to fight? It's like, we aren't able to do battle now since the key broke. Then this guy's like trying to hide the Zaku. And then you can see Machu comes in and say, where does it go? And then she mentions that key here. And then she's able to move it. Gotta escape fast. If they find us here, a hideout will be revealed. What's the big idea? And go kick their asses. And then you can see that she activates the Zaku using the key. And then these guys notice it's like, oh, it's a red mono eye. It's armed. And yeah, it looks like they're now in the maintenance tunnel underground. It does appear to be airtight here. So you can see that Ensign Xavier is kind of stuck here for the time being. He's trying to hide the GQuuuuuuX until he can escape properly. But then you can see that the mobile suit pilots are now in the maintenance tunnel. Could be the unidentified mobile suit that was engaging the target. Looks like, I guess they're both targeting the red Gundam. I guess that makes sense. And what's a Zeon doing sneaking around here? So that means that these mobile police, I guess, are not Zeon. If he's wondering why the Zeon person's here, maybe they're Federation soldiers, perhaps, using Zaku? Or they're just the police of the colony. Could be either, I guess. He's like, oh, don't shoot. Stay away from the mobile suit. We're allies of Side 6. And then you can see in the Machi is like, no way we can win with this piece of junk. And then she sees the GQuuuuuuX and it's like, oh, I got an idea. I'm going to use that because that's stronger. Pretty cool. And then once she is able to slide in, the Haro unlocks it. Pretty cool. And then activates the Omega Saikamu, which activates the proper use of the machine here. You can see like these arm things extend, which didn't extend before. And then Ensign Xavier is like, oh, it's moving. And then you can see that she's controlling it using her new type powers. And he's like, oh, good job. And then these guys notice that the Omega Saikamu activated. But they don't notice that it's her that activated instead. Or technically the Haro, but yeah. But she can use it. And then she's controlling the mobile suit using her mind instead of the controls. And she's like, damn you. And then she is attacking the Zaku here. The mobile police. I mean, you can't do that to my Mav. And then the Zaku hits the airlock, and suddenly this guy has to get out of the way, or he's going to die and get sucked out into space. But she gets sucked out in the GQuuuuuuX. But yeah. But regardless, she's pretty good. And she's like, oh, it's to be killed or to be killed. And then she gets in this like Kira light that shows up in the beginning as well to make Char disappear from the end of near the end of the 1 year war. But it shows up here again, which is pretty cool. Because it's also when the red Gundam pops up, which she hears. And also we get the sound of Lala as well. Lala's sound. You can see that the red Gundam here is helping her. It's like, I have no idea what's going on, but I feel like I get it. So she, with her new type abilities, is able to finally get a hang of what's going on. And you can see she's controlling the GQuuuuuuX and says, are these guys mobs too? And she charged in using her Heat Hawk. And then defeats the Zaku. And then she was like, who is that person in the red Gundam? Like, it's a Gundam incoming, and then the red Gundam passes. But then this guy knows that, oh, who's in the red Gundam isn't the captain, which is Ryan Char. But then who could that be? So it's someone else inside, which we'll explain a bit later. And then Nyan comes, you can see Nyan briefly with the whole stuff involving the police. And then we get the ending song. So, not going to talk too much about it, but I really like that we get a sense of how both Nyan and Machi kind of interact with their environments. Because you can see that Nyan kind of acts a lot like a cat, which makes sense for her namesake. And also the ending song was done by Soise, who is a very popular VTuber. So you can see that Nyan's a bit more relaxed, while you can see that Machi is a lot more kind of like chill, I guess, but like kind of has this laziness to her. See that Nyan is looking at the fish, and then Machi is spinning around in the spinning chair. And then you can see that Nyan also really likes the sewing, because she has she's crocheting, I believe. And then she's cleaning the floor. And then she's also in the chair here, and then calling someone. You see they had this sort of like night party at the end, which is really cute. It's kind of like maybe like this at-home karaoke night, because they also got like pizza and like all this nice food here. See, she sings, and then Machi is using an instrument. And then they're eating together the pizza. And then they're kind of playing together. Machu's using the guitar, I believe, and then Yan is using ukulele. Yeah, it's kind of a nice thing. And then for the preview, we get sort of like going back to that 1 year war segment that was in the beginning movie, where they explain a little bit more. At the end of the Zeon's war for independence, the Federation Mobile Suit Gundam has emerged, and you see Charge running to the GQuuuuuuX, with Char, the legendary red Comet in it. Red, white, which is it? And then we get the title sequence for the White Gundam, which will be the next episode. I'm not sure if the White Gundam next episode will be a flashback episode, kind of like rearranging the parts of the beginning movie, which originally had 1 year war at the beginning, but now we get 1 year war after the introduction to the current alternate UC alternate timeline, or it'll be like interspaced. So we'll see, because I'm kind of interested in seeing a continuation in the movie where we get more into the clan battle section. But regardless, I'm interested in how things will progress, because we don't really know, and we'll only see once we continue to keep watching. So yeah, overall, a lot of interesting stuff. I mean, I really like that this introduction is a really strong showcase of Machu and her capabilities. I mean, she's literally a new type. She's pretty badass already. Also get introduction of this alternate UC timeline where the Zeon has won, and then people are trying to live ordinary lives inside 6, but kind of get their lives have changed because of the introduction of the Red Gundam, which is starting to change things. Yeah. Overall, I'm looking forward to upcoming episodes, and feel free to discuss anything else that you may have noticed. But yeah. Overall, hope you found this discussion kind of interesting, and hope everyone else has a good time watching this show. Looking forward to next week for sure. And if anyone wants to join in a watch along for this episode, I have the YouTube link in this Discord server link in the description of this video. So feel free to join if you want to talk more about GQuuuuuuX or Gundam in general, or mechs. But yeah, hope you have a good rest of your day. Take care.